It's another Sunday, it's another brawl, what are we doing?
Nonsense Rumble!
That's absolutely right, Rick. What is the category for today?
Axe-wielder round 2.
Yes. For those of you unfamiliar with the rules, what we do is we pick a category and we pick characters that fit into that category and argue why my guy would beat your guy. As Rick mentioned, it's Axe-wielders round 2. We've done this before. I believe last time our actual battle was Kratos versus Hector, which Hector's a strong fucking pick, but Kratos is fucking Kratos. So, two very strong picks just off the board for this.
Yeah, they're gone. We have to go with something considerably weaker, because if we pick stronger, then we should have picked it the first time round.
Like, for real. I picked Kratos knowing that's like, I can never pick Kratos again. Rick still has Kratos. Not for Axe-wielder round 2, because we're rehashing a category, but Kratos can be so much more than just an axe-wielder.
Oh yeah, Kratos is pretty much every weapon wielder, and also like an unarmed guy as well, if he wants to be. Yeah, he's a beast.
He is. But let's not get bogged down in that. We've got honourable mentions to get to. Who is getting that title from you today?
Apologies if I picked him as an honourable mention last time, but I'm picking Axe-Cop. He's a gag character, and it wouldn't be funny to pick a gag character for this.
You definitely mentioned Axe-Cop.
Okay, Axe-Cop.
I remember getting annoyed last time you brought up Axe-Cop, because I was like, what the fuck am I meant to do with that?
Yeah, so, he's... He's from a comic written by a 6-year-old and drawn by a 29-year-old, and he chops people's heads off.
Yes, very amusing, very funny.
Yes, I'm going to chop off your head. And when it got animated, he was voiced by Nick Offerman.
Okay.
Do you have a better honourable mention?
Yes, I do, because he could have been the honourable mention last week. In fact, we brought him up last week. I'm, of course, going to mention Gotrek Gurnison.
Yeah! As in Gotrek of Gotrek and Felix. He cycles through all of the ex-slayers in Dwarven society until he reaches the top.
Yeah, he is the worst slayer in history because he was supposed to die.
Yes. The better of a slayer you are, the worse you are at being a slayer. Because, like, the whole point of taking the Slayer's Oath is it's glorified suicide, and the higher up you get promoted by killing bigger and badder things, it's just you failing to embrace your duty.
One of Gottrek's biggest fears is that he dies to just a bunch of goblins because he kills everything that's super epic, so he's probably just going to die to a goblin. Or worse, die in his sleep.
Yeah. Meanwhile, dying of alcohol-related illness counts as dying in battle.
I don't think Gotrek sees it that way, though.
No. But like in Dwarven society, dying of alcohol-related illnesses is seen as dying in battle, and therefore you get to go to Dwarf Valhalla.
Yeah, I'm not even going to pretend to try and dissect what that means.
Yeah.
But, more importantly, he's voiced by Brian Blessed in the most recent audio novel, so...
Fantastic.
It's an epic choice. Although, apparently Brian Blessed didn't know it was fake. And I know that sounds stupid, but he didn't realise it was, like, made-up Warhammer bullshit. He thought it was, like, a history epic. When he was voicing the character, because he's just doing the voice lines, and if he's not mentioning dragons and trolls when he speaks, then I guess kind of that you could confuse that.
So you didn't know it was fiction.
That's the story I heard. It's probably bullshit, but I just like to think that that's the kind of rock and roll lifestyle Brian Blessed lives.
Sure. Oh, silly.
But yes, Rick, I think today you've got a very realistic chance of winning. Let's hear who you're putting in the ring.
The Great Wolf, Logan Grimnar.
Who?
He is a space wolf.
Oh, I see. So he's using a rune axe.
Yeah, he's one of the few space marines to be old enough to retire.
That's not a thing.
And yet, he came back anyway.
That's not Space Marines don't retire.
Yeah, basically not. But yeah, he's like a real old greybeard space wolf. He tried to retire, but tried to get out. They keep pulling me back in, and now he kicks even more ass as a spiritual mentor to all space wolves. And he's basically, if it weren't for Lehman Russ coming back, he'd basically be like one behind Primarch for Space Wolves.
Yes, but Lehman Russ is not coming back yet.
I
feel like Lehman Russ is, specifically Lehman Russ, is one of those characters that's behind the in case of emergency break glass.
Yeah, because like we know that he just fucked off at the end of the Heresy, so we know he's kicking her out somewhere, probably.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. if there's no body, and even if there is a body, that don't mean fuck all in Warhammer 40k.
Yeah, there was a body of Gulliman. It was sat on his throne in suspended animation as like a shitty version of the Emperor, and now he's around again. Oh well.
Yeah, I don't remember this throne stuff. Like, I know you bring it up every time we bring up Gulliman, but I don't remember him being sat on a throne when he was suspended in animation.
Yeah. It was just a crap version of the Emperor. Don't worry about it.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I've never read that.
Yeah. So yeah, he's Space Marine Scythes. There is another Primaris one that's younger and newer, and he's meant to be like a take on Dwarven Dragon Slayers, to the point that he's more of a dwarf than the actual space dwarves that they have in Warhammer 40k. But yeah, I picked Logan because he's got more of a storied history and a much higher kill count.
Yeah, I totally get what you're saying, but one of the things that actually annoys me with Warhammer lore, specifically because I've played a little bit of Space Marine 2 now, is you can apparently just change regular Marines into Primaris Marines, so why aren't they doing that with their biggest, baddest warriors?
Yeah. I don't know how it works. I don't know why it works.
I don't think it does. I think they made it up for the video game because they needed Titus to be a Primaris now because that's all we're selling.
Yeah.
And I wish I was making that up, but it just that's what it feels like. Because they don't explain it. Titus gets knocked out after a mission, which he should die in, to be honest, but he doesn't because he's the main character. And then when you wake up, it's like, by the way, you're a Primaris now, and they don't really explain it beyond that.
Yeah, you're just slightly taller and slightly more better, more humanly proportioned rather than toy proportioned. But yes, who are you going to fight me with as your axe-wielder for round 2?
I fully acknowledge before I say this that I'm losing. I thought I was going to lose today anyway because I've just picked a guy. But you know, against the Space Marine, he definitely stands no chance. But I'm still going to talk about him. I'm of course picking Sir Lionel Baratheon.
Okay. I don't know anything about the Game of Thrones cosmology other than what you've told me and things that have bled into me via osmosis. So
yes.
Go ahead.
You should know a little bit because I've spoken to you about this character on the podcast twice.
Yeah, he is a Baratheon.
He's a Baratheon. He is Sir Lionel. He is the Laughing Storm. He has a very fun habit of when he jousts, he just laughs because it's just so easy to him. It's just so trivial. And he's got a very fun habit of he likes to before George got a fucking stick up his arse about everything being realistic, he used to really like having fancy noble knights having the crests on top of their helms, which he got fucking rid of at some point because he went, this isn't fucking realistic, no one cares. And it's like, well, it's interesting and fun. And what Sir Lionel would do is to keep himself entertained because he's so good at jousting, is he would knock crests off of people's helmets, and it's why the small folk love him at jousts because, there's the crest and it's just been flung into the audience.
Yeah, he's taken someone down a peg and someone gets to keep that as a trophy.
Yeah, it's incredibly fun. And also he's one of the few guys who actually steps up and volunteers to fight for Sir Dunk in the Trial of Seven. Duncan only manages to get 6 knights, including himself, until Baelor decides to step in, and Sir Lionel's one of those knights. Now, he's not entirely altruistic. He's doing it because, oh my god, there's not been a Trial of Seven for 200 years. I'm not missing out on this.
Yeah.
And in the book/comic, he wields an axe in combat. In the show, they've just given him a sword, and that's fine because it makes choreographing scenes easier if everyone's just using swords. But yeah, he's traditionally, when he's not jousting, he uses an axe. So that's why he's my axe man. Of course, he is just a normal dude in medieval era technology sort of setting. He's not beating a fucking space wolf. I suspect even if he had Space Marine genes and was put in Space Marine armor, he'd probably struggle across Lorgar. But that's relying... Not Lorgar, that's a fucking Primarch.
Yeah. One of the arsehole ones as well, yeah.
The arseholiest arsehole.
Yes, the worst.
Nobody likes Lorgar except for Lorgar.
Yeah.
But anyway, which I guess is a fucking step up from Conrad.
Yeah. Not even Conrad likes Conrad.
Oh, Jesus. But yeah, Lionel's a pretty good pick if you're just picking a normal dude. In fact, I put him against almost any regular dude, but as soon as you introduce magic or technology, he is so far down the totem pole as far as power scaling goes, and I acknowledge that. It's one of the reasons why I said I suspect you've got a good chance of winning today. I also thought you were just going to pick an old world dwarf, so kudos for picking a space wolf.
Yeah. It was between old world dwarf and Lord of the Rings dwarf, but we'd already had axe. We'd already had dwarf like the week before, so I thought, let's just try to do something slightly different.
It's also why I didn't just go for Gimli.
Yeah.
But yes, I don't think there's any more. I think we've padded this out as about as far as we can do. Rick, do you want to reveal the obvious?
Logan Grimnar wins!
Absolutely. And let's be honest, space wolves are fucking cool, even if they are space furries.
Yeah.
So yeah, join us again next week, guys, where, well, fuck it, we're going to be doing more 40k. Spoiler, I guess.
Can you send us 40k?
Alright, bye, guys.
Bye.